There is a reason you found this message. Not through an algorithm, not by chance, but because something ancient in you has... You feel it, don't you? That the world isn't random, that behind every moment, every thought, every coincidence, there is a pattern, a deeper intelligence, a divine architecture that breathes behind the veil of your daily life. And if you are quiet, if you stop long enough to listen, you can hear it whispering through the silence. The universe is not cold, it is conscious. And you are not just living in it, you are part of it. Today, you will remember, not learn, remember, because the laws that shape the stars are the same laws that shape you. These are the 7 Hermetic Principles. They are not beliefs, they are not teachings. They are the code behind all creation. Comment, I am ready to remember the laws if your soul is awakening. Hermes Trismegistus, Thoth, the god of wisdom, did not speak to the masses. He spoke to the ones ready to see the unseen, those who knew there was more, those who could feel the pulse of the divine moving beneath the surface of life. He said, the lips of wisdom are closed, except to the ears of understanding. You are here because your inner ear is opening. You are beginning to sense the music of the cosmos, not the kind you hear with ears, but the harmony you feel with your soul. These principles are not dogma, they are reflections of the all, mirrors showing you not only what the world is, but who you are within it. The world taught you to separate science from spirit, logic from intuition, but the ancients knew no such division. In Hermeticism, the truth is whole. It cannot be cut or categorized. The all is mind consciousness itself. This means that all of creation, from galaxies to dreams, emerges from one divine intelligence. You are not a bystander, you are a thought within that mind, a living extension of it. Your thoughts are not just private, they are creative. They ripple into the fabric of the world like drops in an infinite ocean. What you think, you become. What you believe, you build. And this is where the journey begins, with mentalism. But before we unlock each principle, you must know this. These laws are not chains, they are keys. They do not confine, they liberate. Once you begin to see them in your life, you will never again feel powerless. You will understand the tides of your emotions. You will witness the synchronicity of events. You will stop reacting and begin creating. Because these are not just spiritual ideas. They are cosmic laws. Like gravity, they are always at work. But unlike gravity, they respond to your level of awareness. The more conscious you are, the more they align to serve your divine unfolding. You have always felt the signs, the repeating numbers, the meaningful dreams, the way thoughts seem to become things. This is not superstition. This is correspondence, the principle that what is above is like what is below, that the outer world reflects the inner, that heaven and earth are 2 sides of the same mirror. These teachings are not new, they are eternal. Found in ancient Egypt, Greece, India, Babylon, and the stars themselves. But they were never meant to be memorized, they were meant to be embodied. And now, in this sacred moment, your soul remembers how. So take a breath. Feel it. This is your initiation, not into a cult or a belief system, but into divine remembrance. The world will try to distract you, to pull you back into forgetting. But something in you is stronger now. That's why you're still here. You are ready to walk with the ancients, ready to move with the laws of heaven and earth as your guide. And as we begin this journey through the 7 Hermetic Principles, remember you are not just learning the laws, you are the laws. You are the cosmos, awakening within itself. The first Hermetic Principle is not simply a teaching, it is a revelation. It tells you all is mind. The universe in all its majesty is not a machine, not a random event, not dead matter floating in a cold void. It is alive. It is conscious. It is mental. Everything you see, touch, love and fear, every thought, every tree, every planet, is a projection of the one divine mind, which Hermeticism calls the All. This principle is not metaphorical, it is literal. The entire cosmos is a thought in the mind of God, and so are you. The difference is this: the universe remembers, you have only forgotten. What happens when a thought forgets it is thought? It becomes trapped in form. It begins to believe it is separate from the source that made it. This is the condition of humanity, spiritual amnesia. But the first principle cracks the illusion open. If all is mind, then reality is not fixed, it is fluid. Your life is not happening to you, it is flowing from you. This is not philosophy. This is the structure of existence. You are not a victim. You are a lens, a creator, a receiver, and a transmitter of the divine thought. Your reality is your belief system painted on the canvas of the world. Hermes said, "As within, so without." The All creates by thinking, and so do you. Every image you hold, every identity you wear, every story you repeat, these are the blueprints your life builds from. If you constantly think you are broken, your world will give you proof. If you believe you are divine, creation will move to affirm it. The All does not discriminate. It reflects. That is why awakening to this principle is so radical. It makes you accountable. It reveals that your thoughts are not just reactions, they are generative. You are constantly creating. The question is, are you creating consciously? Let this truth settle into your bones. You are made of the same mind that gave birth to galaxies. The distance between you and the divine is illusion. You are not separate. You are a fractal of the All, wrapped in skin and story. When you meditate, when you pray, when you sit in silence and feel that deep presence, you are not calling on something outside of yourself. You are returning. The temple is within, the altar is your awareness, and the offering is your attention. What you focus on becomes real. This is the sacred responsibility and the sacred gift of the mind. But with this awareness comes discipline. The awakened mind cannot afford to drift. You must become a guardian of your thoughts, not with fear, but with reverence. Not all thoughts are yours. Many are inherited, implanted, or unconsciously absorbed. Begin to ask, where did this belief come from? Is it aligned with who I truly am? The All is pure, but the filters of the human mind are often dusty. Your task is not to become perfect, but to become clear, like polishing a mirror, like tuning an instrument, so that the divine mind can flow through you without distortion. This is why ancient initiates began their path with mental discipline, not to control the world, but to harmonize with it. To recognize that every thought is a seed, every word a spell, every image a prayer, and when you align your thoughts with truth, with beauty, with light, you become a conscious extension of the All, not just a spark, but a flame. And the world, which once seemed indifferent, begins to respond to you like a living being, because it is. The universe is mental, and the mind, your mind, is sacred, our breath. There are cycles in the moon that echo in your emotions, and there are laws in the heavens that govern even your quietest thoughts. This is the sacred meaning of the second Hermetic principle, correspondence. As above, so below. As within, so without. As the universe, so the soul. These are not poetic phrases. They are cosmic instructions. The structure of reality is mirrored, not metaphorically, literally. The micro reflects the macro, and the smallest atom carries the fingerprint of the entire cosmos. Look at your life. Look at the events that repeat, the relationships that trigger, the wounds that never seem to fully heal. They are not random. They are reflections. The outer world is not against you. It is showing you what lives within you. Your environment is a mirror. Your relationships are mirrors. Your struggles and your longings are signals, telling you what needs attention in the temple of your soul. If you want to change your life, you must change yourself. The world bends to the state of your inner being. This is the law of correspondence. Your inner world is the blueprint for your outer experience. Hermes did not ask you to control others. He asked you to master yourself, because when you master your own vibration, your own mental and emotional frequency, the entire world begins to respond to you differently. Why? Because you are no longer trying to fix the reflection. You are adjusting the source. You are tuning the projector, not the screen. This is why true change begins in stillness, in introspection, in alignment. You do not need to manipulate the external. You need to harmonize the internal, and the external must follow. The ancient mystics knew this law well. They saw the stars not as distant ornaments, but as living forces. The planets were not gods to be worshipped, but intelligences to be understood. They observed the heavens to understand the soul. Astrology was not entertainment, it was sacred science, because the movements above reflected the conditions below, and so too your emotions reflect your beliefs. Your health reflects your habits. Your reality reflects your consciousness. Nothing is separate. Nothing is uncaused. Everything is correspondence. But remember, this law also speaks of power, because if the outer world reflects the inner, then what you carry within has the power to reshape your world. When you cultivate inner peace, chaos begins to dissolve around you. When you embody truth, lies lose their grip. When you radiate love, hostility begins to fade. You become the center of a new pattern. The initiate understands he does not wait for the world to shift. He becomes the shift. He does not beg the stars, he aligns with them. So if your life is showing you something painful, do not curse the mirror. Go inward, find the misalignment, breathe, recalibrate. You are not being punished. You are being shown. This is sacred feedback, and when you respond with awareness, not blame, you rise, you awaken, and suddenly the world softens around you. The law of correspondence becomes your ally, your compass, your proof that the divine lives both in the galaxies and in your next breath. What is above is already within you, and what is within you is already shaping the stars. If you listen closely, you will hear it, not with your ears, but with your presence. A subtle hum, a hidden rhythm, moving through every breath, every heartbeat, every star in the sky. This is the third Hermetic principle, vibration. It says, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. This is not just spiritual poetry. It is ancient physics. Everything that exists is in motion, from the galaxies swirling in infinite spirals to the quiet pulse inside your cells. Stillness is illusion. Even silence vibrates. And the moment you grasp this truth, the moment you feel it, you begin to understand how powerful you truly are. Because if everything vibrates, then everything is frequency. And if everything is frequency, then everything can be tuned. You are not a fixed being, you are energy in motion. Your thoughts vibrate, your emotions vibrate, your very essence has a frequency, your signature note, and it determines what you attract, what you repel, what you create. You are not at the mercy of random forces, you are a transmitter, a resonator, a living song in the symphony of the cosmos. The key is this: learn to tune yourself, and you will begin to tune your world. Imagine two tuning forks placed beside each other. If one is struck, the other begins to vibrate. This is resonance. The same law governs your life. Whatever frequency you emit through your thoughts, your beliefs, your inner state, will draw that same energy to you. High vibration attracts clarity, opportunity, and alignment. Low vibration invites confusion, chaos and stagnation. This is not punishment, it is physics. Life does not give you what you want, it gives you what you are. And vibration reveals what you are, beneath every mask and word. So when you feel stuck, do not look outward. Ask yourself, what am I vibrating right now? Fear, doubt, powerlessness, or trust, presence and truth. Your frequency is your responsibility, and you have the tools to shift it. Breath, intention, music, silence, movement, prayer. The ancients used chant and sacred sound to raise their vibration, not for entertainment, but for transformation. When you speak with reverence, you change your energy. When you think with awareness, you shift your state. You are never powerless. You are always vibrating. This is why your environment matters, who you listen to, what you consume, where you spend your time. All of it affects your frequency, and your frequency is the filter through which you experience life. Choose carefully, speak intentionally, move conscious. You are not just living. You are harmonizing with invisible waves that shape every outcome. The Hermetic path is not about escaping life. It is about tuning your life to the highest resonance of the divine. And here's the secret Hermes whispered through time. The highest frequency of all is love. Not sentiment, not attachment, pure divine love. The vibration of creation itself. When you live from love, not fear, you align with the source. And when you align with the source, you become a conduit of miracles. You become still but never static, quiet but never empty. You become the sacred vibration that speaks without sound. You become the hum of the universe, remembered at last. This world you walk through is built on opposites, light and dark, birth and death, silence and sound. And yet, the ancient masters taught, these are not enemies. They are expressions of the same truth. This is the fourth Hermetic principle, polarity. It tells us everything is dual, everything has poles. Everything has its pair of opposites. Opposites are identical in nature, but different in degree. This law does not divide reality, it unites it. It teaches you that darkness is not the absence of light, but the womb in which light is born. That cold is not separate from heat, but its lower vibration. That sorrow and joy are not two truths, but two tones of the same sacred song. You were taught to fear opposition, to resist it, to fight against whatever feels foreign, painful, or different. But Hermes whispers something deeper. What you reject, you strengthen. What you run from becomes your shadow. What you judge becomes your prison. But when you see that every pair of opposites is simply one energy expressing itself in two directions, you stop resisting and you start understanding. You see that love and hate are two ends of the same stick, that fear and courage live on the same scale, that life and death are not enemies, they are dancers in the same eternal rhythm. When you understand this, your suffering begins to transform, because you stop seeing life in fragments. You begin to hold paradox without panic. You understand that pain is not a curse, it is a teacher. That struggle is not a punishment, it is a passage, that even chaos carries order within it. The initiate does not run from difficulty. They study it, they sit with it, they find the divine message in the mirror of its opposite. This is spiritual alchemy, not escaping your experience, but transmuting it, turning pain into wisdom, grief into grace, shadow into light. Polarity also means you have choice. You cannot eliminate duality, but you can shift your position on the scale. You can raise cold into warmth. You can lift doubt into faith. You can turn anxiety into alertness. The key is awareness. When you recognize where you are on the spectrum, you are no longer a slave to emotion. You become a master of movement. You begin to slide the scale with consciousness. You become a participant in your own alchemical elevation. The all gives you the scale. Hermetic wisdom teaches you how to rise upon it. Even your relationships are governed by this law. The person who triggers you the most is often the one who holds the opposite of a truth you have yet to embody. The enemy reflects your unclaimed power. The contrast reveals your calling. Hermes asks, can you bless the one who opposes you? Can you find meaning in what challenges you? For until you do, you will remain a prisoner of polarity, instead of the wielder of it. Polarity is not meant to divide the world. It is meant to show you that wholeness is made of two hands clasped together. So breathe this in. There is nothing in you that must be exiled. No emotion that must be destroyed. Only energies to be raised, wounds to be reclaimed, forces to be balanced. You are not here to live on one side of the coin. You are here to hold both, dark and light, joy and grief, matter and spirit. In doing so, you become the axis, the center, the sacred still point where all opposites dissolve into unity. You become the eye in the storm, the flame in the shadow, the one who no longer resists but remembers. There is a pulse beneath all creation, a rise and a fall, a breath in, a breath out. The tides come and go. The moon waxes and wanes, the heart opens and closes. This is not coincidence. This is the eternal dance of the universe. The fifth Hermetic principle, rhythm. Everything flows, out and in. Everything has its tides. All things rise and fall. Hermes taught that this law governs all things, from galaxies spinning in spirals to the secret cycles of your inner life. When you understand it, you no longer fear change. You flow with it. Rhythm is the heartbeat of the all. It ensures balance. It is the sacred metronome that keeps the cosmic song in time. When the pendulum swings one way, it must swing back. What goes up must come down, and what descends must rise again. This is not punishment. This is harmony. It is why joy never lasts forever, but neither does sorrow. It is why stillness always follows chaos, and why light always returns after the night. The mistake is thinking any state is permanent. The wisdom is remembering everything moves, and when you move with it, you suffer less. Most people resist this principle. They cling to what is rising and fear what is falling. But the initiate, the one who walks with Hermes, learns the art of timing. They do not fight the wave. They ride it. When expansion comes, they plant and celebrate. When contraction follows, they withdraw and reflect. They understand that winter is not death. It is preparation for spring. That loss is not failure. It is a turning, a rebalancing, a sacred breath. In and out. When you honor the rhythm of your own life, you stop blaming yourself for the valleys. You realize they are part of the music. The hermetist learns to stabilize their soul even while the pendulum swings, to find the sacred still point, the divine center, the place within that does not rise or fall. This is the power of inner stillness. It anchors you while the world moves. It holds you steady in both joy and sorrow. It allows you to witness the rhythm without becoming lost in it. This is why meditation, breathwork, and silence are not luxuries. They are tools of alignment. They help you feel the rhythm without being tossed by it. There is rhythm in your emotions, rhythm in your relationships, rhythm in your spiritual growth. There are times of acceleration and times of stillness, times when you feel illuminated, and times when everything seems to vanish into darkness. These are not signs of failure, they are signs of motion. The universe is moving through you, cycling through stages, teaching you through contrast. And if you can surrender to the rhythm instead of resisting it, you will move forward with more grace, more power, more trust. So, when the tide recedes, do not panic. Rest. Reflect. Restore. When the wave rises again, and it always will, you will be ready. You will move with it, not against it. The principle of rhythm is not about controlling life. It is about dancing with it, feeling the beat beneath the noise, the wisdom beneath the chaos. And when you live in rhythm with the divine, you begin to hear the music again. The same music Hermes once heard beneath the stars, the music that's been waiting for you all along. You have never lived a moment that was uncaused. Not a tear, not a triumph, not a coincidence. Everything has roots. Everything is ripple. This is the sixth Hermetic principle, cause and effect. Every cause has its effect. Every effect has its cause. Chance is but a name for law, not recognized. There is no chaos, only unrecognized consequence. You are not a leaf tossed by the winds of life. You are the wind. You are the force behind the motion, whether you're aware of it or not. And the moment you accept this, something holy happens. Your power returns. This law is not about punishment. It is about precision. The all is just, not in the human sense of right and wrong, but in the spiritual sense of perfect reflection. What you send out through thought, word, feeling, and action echoes, maybe not immediately, maybe not where you expect, but always it returns. And when it does, it teaches. The pain you experience is not cruelty, it is communication. The blessings you receive are not luck, they are alignment. The law is always in motion, sculpting your reality based on your inner state. This principle reveals the sacred mechanics of creation. You are always planting, always sowing. Every thought is a seed, every decision a direction, and the fruit you harvest, your relationships, your patterns, your outcomes, grows from what you've placed in the soil of your life. Most people live in reaction. They see the effects but ignore the causes. They blame the mirror instead of changing their face. But Hermes taught his initiates to rise above the chaos, to become causes, not effects, to live as conscious creators, not unconscious participants. The awakened soul becomes deliberate, not anxious, not controlling, but intentional. You begin to trace every result back to its root. You see your role in the unfolding. You stop asking, "Why is this happening to me?" and begin asking, "What within me created this?" And with that question, doors open. Your power is restored, because if you caused it, you can change it. The moment you take responsibility, you step into divine authorship. You are no longer at the mercy of invisible forces. You become one. This principle also speaks of mercy, because just as you are the cause of your pain, you are also the cause of your healing. One loving thought can unravel 1,000 fearful ones. One act of grace can redeem years of bitterness. One conscious breath can break the cycle of lifetimes. The law is not here to trap you. It is here to liberate you through understanding. Every moment offers you a new seed, a new choice, a new cause to create a new effect. This is not pressure, it is divine opportunity. So walk with care, but not with fear. Speak with awareness, but not with silence. Move with reverence, knowing that you are shaping what tomorrow will look like. Not with grand gestures, but with your state, your intention, your energy. Nothing is random. Nothing is wasted. You are a weaver of light and shadow, and the threads are in your hands. This is the law of cause and effect, not to control you, but to awaken you. The universe is listening. The field is always responding. You are not being punished or rewarded. You are being mirrored. Within every breath, there is a balance. Within every soul, a sacred marriage. This is the final Hermetic principle. Gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. It is not about man or woman. It is about energy. Polarity, yes, but also creation. Nothing can come into being without union. Every thought you manifest, Every vision you give life to is born from this sacred dance. The masculine gives form, the feminine gives life. One is force, the other is flow, and both together are God. This is the hidden architecture of reality. The sun and the moon, logic and intuition, action and stillness, structure and surrender. These are not in opposition. They are reflections. You carry both within you, and the Hermetic path does not ask you to choose. It calls you to unite. The masculine principle within you speaks in direction, in will, in clarity. The feminine principle speaks in intuition, in emotion, in reception. When one dominates, imbalance arises. But when they dance in harmony, you become a vessel of divine creation. Most live in internal war, overextended in doing, cut off from being, or lost in emotion, with no anchor of will. But the initiate learns to listen, to move from intuition, and act with structure, to receive guidance and apply it with power. This inner union is the alchemical marriage, the great mystery of the ages. It is not a myth, it is a method. The sacred masculine protects, penetrates, initiates. The divine feminine receives, nurtures, transforms. When you align both in reverence, you give birth to what the ancients called Logos made flesh, the divine manifested through matter. This principle is the key to balance in every realm, physical, emotional, spiritual, and cosmic. The planets themselves carry gendered signatures. The rituals, the music, the prayers, they all emerge from the interplay of masculine rhythm and feminine tone. Even the Hermetic are masculine in transmission, feminine in reception, are born from this law. Your creativity is not random. Your vision is not accidental. It is the child of your inner balance. When your masculine and feminine energies are aligned, you become fertile, not biologically but spiritually. You give birth to healing, to ideas, to change. And here lies the final truth. The all contains both. The source is not male nor female, but both and beyond. And so are you. You are not here to pick sides. You are here to embody wholeness. This is the secret the world forgot. That the union of opposites is the root of creation, that the soul transcends form. That every human is a temple where God and Goddess meet. Hermes did not teach separation. He taught the return to unity through you, through your breath, through your body, through your becoming. You have now walked the sevenfold path of the Hermetic laws. You have remembered what most forget. You have seen that the universe is mind, that reality is mirrored, that everything vibrates, that opposites are one, that rhythm moves all, that causes shape destinies, and that gender births every moment of form. These are not lessons, they are laws, and now they live in you. Tidal challenge. If you've made it this far, drop 100 in the comments. It shows you are part of the 1% that's improving every single day. You are no longer asleep. You are the flame Hermes passed forward. Now live it.